Hi, I'm Georgia Tuttle, and welcome to the Vision High School Sports Beat.
High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the Vision Automotive Group, with something for everyone, offering Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, Hyundai, Jeep, Kia, Nissan, and Ram, with locations in Penfield, Henrietta, Canandaigua, Fairport, Webster, and Greece. Hello everyone, and welcome to week 39 of the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at Section 5 sports in Monroe County. We begin with our honor roll of high school athletes. At number 3, we have Jack Gaitis of the Webster Thomas boys lacrosse team. Jack scored 3 goals for the Titans in their semifinal win over Pittsford in Class A. Thomas is 16-2, entering the championship game with Penfield. At number 2, girls lacrosse star Sheila Nesselbush of Penfield got 4 goals against Thomas in the semifinal Class A tournament win. That helped put the Patriots in the finals against Pittsford, some of the same teams here. And at number 1, Brett Bouchard of the Fairport baseball team. Brett got a little beaten up in the Raiders' regular season loss to Victor. That's a game we featured on the Sports Beat, but Bouchard bounced back to toss a one-hitter against Webster Thomas in the AAA tournament quarterfinals. Which brings us to McQuaid, where the Knights produced a one-of-a-kind lacrosse star this spring. If you're the school of thought that both sports and academics matter, then we have an athlete for you. He is Luke Bailey of McQuaid. Bailey was just named Player of the Year in the Greater Rochester Area Lacrosse League. He plays defense, so he doesn't put up the numbers that get him noticed. But he knows a good lacrosse player when he sees him, with or without the stats.
Never really gets beat. He's always good with the stick. He was able to throw some good checks, but stay under control.
Did you ever score? Do you ever get the opportunity to go up there and take a shot?
There's a couple times, every once in a while. Yeah.
Are those like the highlights for you?
No, not necessarily. Probably when you strip guys, that's probably the biggest highlight. Or if you get a yard sale, definitely.
A yard sale, for the uninitiated, is when a player is hit so hard he loses his stick. The equipment on the ground thus resembles a yard sale. Bailey brings more to his game than just brawn. He has brains, too. Luke is the only Monroe County player in lacrosse named an academic All-American. He carries an unweighted grade point average of 3.85.
Well, the teachers really just give us a really good study habit and kind of just not to procrastinate and get our work done. Especially in season, it helps a lot to make sure we're getting our homework done right after school. And the teachers and our coaches both push us a lot to get all that stuff done to keep our grades up, because for us that's the most important thing.
Well, we talk about lacrosse IQ, very high level, so much that it's really an extension of the coaching staff on the field. We've got a number of underclassmen on the team this year, and he's really been an extension of the coaching staff as a leader on the field who can, not only make the plays but can direct and educate the other players on the team. So he's been a great help to us.
In addition to becoming actively involved in local community projects, Bailey is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and spent his February break in El Salvador helping a community build an irrigation system. He'll take his considerable talents to Ohio State next year. How do you feel this close to graduation now?
Oh, it's definitely weird. McQuaid, we're already done. Already finished classes a week ago, so we're already done with classes, and definitely weird, but it's time to move on.
I can't say enough good things about him. Senior captain for us. I've been fortunate to have him on varsity with us for the last 3 years, and he's just a tremendous leader by example, on and off the field. He's the kid that you don't have to worry about. He's always making the right decisions and trying to bring his teammates along with him.
And when we return, our top teams and our top golfer.
Hi, I'm Margo Hetzke, and you're watching the Vision High School Sports Beat.
Welcome back. This is Division Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat, and I'm Bill Pucko. Time now to check our honor roll of high school teams for the week. At number 3, Hilton's baseball team is in that number 3 slot. The Cadets scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th to avoid a quarterfinal upset with a walk-off win over Penfield. At number 2, Penfield, the winner this time. In boys lacrosse, the Patriots scored 6 of the game's last 7 goals to post a 10-8 quarterfinal round upset of top-seeded Fairport in the Class A draw. And at number 1, the McQuaid golf team won its 4th team championship in the last 6 years. Colin Dubnick was the medalist. Sutherland was second. Which brings us to Pittsford-Sutherland, where the Knights have a golfing champion of their own. As a sophomore and having already decided to give up the game to concentrate on his golf, Doug Kulakowski was late in his last game as a JV basketball player at Pittsford-Sutherland when his knee gave way. Come spring, Doug played through it.
Yeah, last year, I had to wear a brace while I was playing, and it was hard on me. It definitely, the mind, it kicks in saying, oh, don't go through it as hard, and this year I'm able to just not think about it and play.
Surgery followed the golf season in July.
The waiting period to golf is 4 months after that. So I didn't start golfing till our school break in December over the Christmas holiday. And, that's when I really could start hitting full shots.
No one could have foreseen how quickly Kulakowski and his reconstructed knee reconstructed his golf game. Last week, he won the sectional and super sectional championships. Doug led the Knights to a second-place finish in the team sectionals at Wildwood Country Club in Rush.
This is his 4th year on my team with me. He started as an 8th grader on my varsity team 3 years ago. So to have him be at this stage right now, it doesn't surprise me, but to have the layoff that he had, it just shows how much determination he's got for the game.
Through my ACL injury, I had a lot of time to read books, to get my game right, think through shots, and I think that's half of the game right there.
And now that Kulakowski has dealt with adversity, his knee injury left him better armed to deal with it in the future.
It makes him more of a grinder. To have him go through all of the things that he did, to have to grind through his rehab, it made him actually learn how to grind through the golf course, which is something that a lot of the younger players these days sometimes don't have. And to have that on his resume and to be able to get ready for the state tournament like this, I think it really bodes well for him.
When we return, Making the Grade salutes the sport of lacrosse. And later, the track and field class of 2013 goes out in style.
Hi, I'm Sam Harding, and this is the Vision High School Sports Beat.
Welcome back. This is the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Our Making the Grade segment is a salute to people who make a difference off the field of play. In this case, it's the sport itself, the sport of lacrosse. RIT's inspiring run to the National NCAA Division III Men's Lacrosse Final put that sport front and center again. There were 6 Section 5 players on the Tigers roster. Freshman Kyle Sturzen of Fairport was a starter. The opportunity to play lacrosse after high school is greater than any other sport in Section 5. Just look down the road at MCC, where the Tribunes finished 18-0 with a National Junior College Championship on the women's side. There were 13 area players on that championship roster representing 9 different Section 5 schools. The men offered even more. MCC featured 18 local players on its roster, including 6 from Irondequoit alone. It doesn't need to be a Division I scholarship, although there are plenty of those out there too. It's about opportunity and the chance to continue to compete. So this week we salute the sport of lacrosse for making the grade. If you have a Making the Grade nominee for us, there is still time to get it to us. info@classywolf.com. And as always, we thank you in advance. Postcards from college, more lacrosse. Monroe County plays 18 players on the Mercyhurst roster, including leading scorer Brian Sheets, senior out of Canandaigua. Brian had 27 goals and 46 assists in 19 games for the Lakers. They lost just once to Lemoyne in the Division II National Championship game. The winners in that game sport a Section 5er. Chris Button of Fairport had a 26-goal season for the Lemoyne Dolphins. Chris is a junior. Closer to home, a little track at the Division III Nationals. Brighton's Alyssa Smith won the 3,000-meter race. The steeplechase, representing Geneseo, while Buffalo State's Jasmine Dunham won the 200 in a school record time of 24.34 seconds. He is a Greece Olympiad grad.
Hi, this is Lindsay Barden, and you're watching Vision's High School Sports Beat.
Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. We love covering track and field. There's always so much to see out there. At the sectionals this week, we concentrated on the seniors from the class of 2013. It's a changing of the guard, but the track and field class of 2013 isn't going quietly. The Section 5 championships for the top two classes were held at Penfield High School, and the soon-to-be graduates represented well. Senior Brennan Root, Rush Henrietta High School, headed to Canisius in Buffalo on scholarship. Root runs the 3,200 and the steeplechase. It is in the steeplechase that Root really excels. He lost the Section 5 title last year as a junior to then Hilton sophomore Tyler Ranke. Those two continue to wage a spirited battle for the crown this year. The steeplechase is one of our favorite events and among the strangest in the sport. The boys run 3,000 meters and have to clear 5 barriers, not hurdles. These don't move per lap. The real feature of the steeplechase is a 12-foot long water pit, the landing for a barrier and a favorite spectator attraction. The freakishness of the event notwithstanding, Root and Ranke are two of the best. Root won the race but failed to better his personal best, which, by the way, is the best in the country.
Pretty cool. I look at it on the computer and it feels pretty cool, and I know Tyler's not far behind, so every race is just gonna be a battle to the end.
Yeah, you talk about Tyler, you're leaving this event in pretty good hands when you graduate, aren't you?
Yeah, we talked about that too, and he's gonna be by himself next year, and that's kind of sad. I wish I had more time, but he's gonna be a monster next year.
The girls have one too. She is Valerie Palermo. Webster Schrader. She'll be performing at Duquesne in Pittsburgh next year. Valerie ran third in the 3,000-meter sectional race. But throw up a few barriers and you've got a real champion. It is in the steeplechase that Palermo really excels. Her best time ranks third in the nation this year. States could be a lot of fun since the top 2 times are also from New York. In the 2,000-meter steeplechase, Valerie found what she was looking for, a chance to stand out. She won the sectional crown by an amazing 52 seconds.
It's a lot harder this year. Like, it's nice because I could be more relaxed during it. I don't have to worry about, like, you know, trying to get up there to just try to get to states, because that's really the goal, kind of my goal every season, just to get to states somehow. And then when I went to states last year, I came in 4th, and I was like, oh wow, maybe I'm actually like good at this. I didn't think that I would be that great. And then this year it's harder, but it's more relaxed.
We all remember Denzel Knight of Brockport, probably a little less due to his being a 2-time Section 5 champion. He won the 400 and the triple jump, but because of his exploits on the football field. Denzel will attend Salisbury Prep in Connecticut next year with an eye on a D1 deal down the road. Denzel scored 28 touchdowns, running for 1,739 yards and gaining 2,250 all-purpose yards for the 8-1 Blue Devils. But his Section 5 career finished on the track with a win in the 400.
Makes me faster. As long as I work out during track, I'm staying consistent with my weight for football. it's a good thing to do when you're going to play football in the next 2 months.
Football's the thing, though, for you, right?
Football is, track is, it's a sport I enjoy, but don't plan on pursuing after high school.
From Webster Thomas, senior Eileen O'Hara capped her track and field career as a double winner, claiming the 800 and 1500 meter runs. O'Hara will resurface at SUNY Binghamton next year, a Division I program. In the 1500 final, O'Hara bettered a familiar foe, Penfield junior Katie Lembo, who would go on to win the 3000, an event O'Hara could find herself running at college. At the shorter distance, though, Eileen found herself 4.5 seconds faster.
I definitely think I've kind of had a nice steady improvement since I first started. And I'm happy that my times are continuing to drop this year. It's a nice way to end it.
And you see a lot of Lembo this year, didn't you?
Yeah, she's a great runner. I like running against her because it kind of gets me more mentally prepared for the race. I know it's going to be a good race, it's going to be close, so I'm going to really have to fight the whole time. So I like running against her.
On the fast track, there's nobody better than Greece Athena's Brian Smith. Brian won 4 sectional track and field titles last year, set the sectional record in the 300 during the past indoor season, and wound up with wins in the 100, 200, and 400 meters this year. Brian plans to attend the University of Pittsburgh next year. Pity poor Corey Beasley, by the way. Gates Chili Sr. gets almost no recognition running in Brian's shadow. Beasley finished second to Smith in both the 100 and the 200. They were even most of the way in the 100 before Brian turned it on.
I felt Corey Beasley from Gates come up on me, and I just when I felt him come up on me, I just started to pull away.
But you got like this extra gear for the last 10% of the race?
Yeah, me and my coach this weekend been working on the last part of my race, so I got that. I think I got it down today. The last burst, the last 20 to 5 meters at 100. So we got that down today, good.
The girls have won too. Spencerport's Madeline Kopp has been every bit as dominant as Smith, completing the sprinting Triple Crown with wins in the 100, 200, and 400 in back-to-back years. Madeline is headed to Duke. But when the topic is track and field, Desmond Mobley's name invariably comes up. Des led Olympia to the Class A sectional title with his usual triple, claiming the 100 hurdles, the high, and the long jumps. Mobley will attend South Plains Junior College in Northwest Texas, a 5-time national track and field champion. His was an interesting day at the sectionals. After winning the hurdles, Mobley had to wait around to compete in the long and high jumps, which would then both run simultaneously. Mobley had to shuttle back and forth, compromising his performance, but not the result. In the high jump, Reese Arcadia Jr. Brian Short had a career day, clearing 6'2" for the first time. He's the jumper to beat. Next year, Mobley glided over 6'4" in his first try, 4 inches lower than his personal best, said no thanks to any further attempts, and then headed down to the long jump. Desmond's second jump was the best, a seemingly effortless flight of 21 feet, 9 3/4 inches, just another day in the life of Des.
For anybody, it's kind of tough because it's different jumps, so it's like you got to change your mindset every single time. So, but I make do what I got.
Did you prioritize the long jump?
No, I kind of just did it. I just went out there and just did whatever.
Well, you look at the 2 scores you posted. Are you happy with your day?
I could have did better, but I mean, a win's a win, so I'm not going to complain.
So there you have it. Des, Denzel, Brian, and Root, Palermo O'Hara, and the rest of the track and field class of 2013. Another memorable year. And finally, congrats to Penfield Mendon and the HFL girls, the RH, Olympia, and Aquinas boys for winning the Section 5 track titles this year. And we'd like to thank the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible. If you want copies of this episode or any of our previous episodes of the Sports Beat, you can get them from ClassyWolf.com. The Sports Beat airs every week, Saturday night, following the late local news on 13 Wham TV, and then again on Sunday morning on Rochester CW Channel 16 at 10:30, immediately preceding the Press Box from MacGregors. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.